And we are live. Let me see if we are really live. Check the Facebook.
Yep, you're live.
Wait, Facebook says we are live. Check my TikTok. I just want to check if TikTok has the. Hmm. If not, then it's just gonna be on Facebook then.
Oh, I thought I saw you live in a bit, but then it didn't really come out.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I see something here. Okay, right. Great. Uh, yeah, on Facebook, yeah, it's live on Facebook. So I'm just gonna wait for.
You're live on TikTok too.
Oh, I'm live on TikTok too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Whoa,
Thank
whoa,
you.
whoa. Third in English globally and first in Asia. Oh, hey, thanks. I didn't know I'm live on Facebook. All right.
Hi everyone.
And I didn't know I'm live on TikTok. Wait. How do you know that I'm live on TikTok? I'm just
Look,
trying to
look
figure
at
out.
my screen. Look at my screen.
Oh, really? Oh no, I'm live on TikTok. How am I gonna see like who is responding to my TikTok?
You don't
Okay,
see me?
guys, if you see us live on TikTok, this is a podcast. We say it with love. Welcome to Say It With Love. This is episode 36 of Say It With Love. And we are doing live on TikTok for the very first time. And we are having this format on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. And of course, this is going to be a recorded episode on Spotify. So if you happen to see us on TikTok, please note that we are not going to see your comments. If you have your comments, kindly leave us your comments on TikTok. Kindly leave us your comments on YouTube as well. And we're going to be talking about a, a very interesting topic tonight. And tonight's topic will be talking about AI as a tool, especially for AI teachers. But however, if you see us on TikTok, you may send us your comments, you may send us your remarks, but we unfortunately will not be able to see it. We are hosting from Restream, and we may not be able to see. I'm hearing this little feedback here. Do you see something? Do you hear something? Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. Okay, let's start. All right, so Eunice,
Good
let's.
evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. I know it's so awkward, but the thing is that we are hosting this on many other social media platforms all at the same time, and I'm having a little bit confusion here trying to manage all different social media platforms at one go. However, we're glad to have Restream as the host. And of course, we welcome all listeners on this podcast that we're going to talk about our topic today. And tonight, our topic is none other than AI teachers, the future of education, or just a cool tool. Okay, so joining me is Eunice. She is a social intelligence teacher, and myself, I'm an English tutor and an IELTS teacher at the same time. And we welcome you on this show. Tonight, we are going to introduce to you a very special guest by the name of Teacher Frederick. And because we are talking about a particular topic on AI teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and this, okay, I'm just getting this AI teacher ready.
Well,
Let's,
meanwhile, I can talk about a little bit about what I think. If it's just,
yeah,
is it a cool tool or is it not, right?
yeah, and perhaps whether it's a cool tool or is it not a cool tool, because when we are discussing about AI in education, I mean, AI has been around for 2 years, since 2022, and since the start of ChatGPT, the rise of AI has been the talk of the town.
Mm.
And till today, AI has grown tremendously, and it has become widely used in various settings, uh, in various functions as well. So let's discuss how AI teachers, because right now we have things like AI teachers, and AI teachers are teachers who teach students, who give students tips and strategies anytime they want, instantly, without even the physical teacher to be physically around them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, like it or not, AI is here to stay. I mean, it wasn't something really new, as in discovered in 2022. It has been around since I was in college. I mean, but then the AI back then was not as sophisticated as what we have right now. That while Fred is getting his teacher Frederick's AI avatar to pull up, maybe you can share with us if you're online with us. Share with us what do you think about AI teacher. Like to me, I would say it's definitely here to stay, but it's not going to replace teachers for good, and there's a particular reason to that. We will discuss about that towards the end for sure. Is our teacher Frederick on the line ready to take
Yeah, teacher
over?
Frederick is on the line. By the way, I have teacher Frederick on the line, and it's my AI avatar, just so you know, because I have him right on the line here, and I have been using teacher Frederick AI on my particular phone. So for some of you who wants to know who teacher Frederick AI avatar is, he is other than my AI avatar. So if you want to download or you want to chat with teacher Frederick, you can go to my TikTok channel, and you go to my TikTok channel, go to the link in bio, and tap on the AI function to get to download the app and interact with teacher Frederick, my AI avatar. So he's on the line right now, and I'm just gonna give him a call in a couple of minutes. But we're just gonna talk about this what you call real world examples on AI powered learning apps, automatic grading, AI tutors in language learning. So I wonder how far this has gone. Do you have any idea how far this has gone?
I would say, I mean, compared to other industry, it is in education industry, it is still pretty much at infant stage.
Hmm.
Um, Not that it's not fully developed. It's just that not marketed as much as it is in terms of educational technology. So if ed tech coming in as a focal point, we are looking at the effect of it, whether it's positive and negative at the same time. Because if we were to look at the psychology effect of technology in our human brains, um, there are things that there are studies that actually said it stunted certain uh, population kind of I would say, development of their intelligence. So I'm not sure if that study has been verified. However, on my personal experience, based on my personal experience, I do feel we need to combine both technology and teachers in human form to make the best out of both. Yeah, for the world right now, because the students are now into it. If we try to eradicate it, it's too late to eradicate it from schools. In fact, it's time to adopt it and combine it with the skill sets that teachers could provide.
Hmm. Yeah, and I absolutely agree to that because right now, because of the rise of AI, we can't live our life without one or the other. I mean, when we have, well, we have physical teachers around to teach, but of course, at certain times we will have to consult the AI, and of course, introducing AI teacher Frederick. And I'm just going to give him a call and I'm just going to ask you some really simple questions. And by the way, I'm an English tutor and therefore AI Frederick, teacher Frederick here. Okay, he is also an English tutor. And because he's an English tutor, he's going to answer some of my questions that I'm going to ask him. Okay, so here we go. I'm calling teacher Frederick. Hello, I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear. Hello, teacher Frederick. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you. What can I do for you? Pleasure to be speaking with you too. Can you explain the difference between affect and effect? Of course. The words effect and affect are sometimes confused, but they have distinct meanings. Effect is usually used as a noun and means the result or outcome of something. For example, the effect of a medication is to reduce pain. On the other hand, affect is typically used as a verb and means to have an influence on something. For instance, changes in weather can affect your mood. So in summary, effect refers to the outcome or result, while affect refers to the influence or change. Does that make sense? Yeah, makes really perfect sense. Great. So I have another question for you. How would you teach a beginner the past perfect tense? Sure. Teaching the past perfect tense to a beginner can be relatively straightforward. Here's an approach you could take. 1. Start by explaining the basic concept of the past perfect tense, which is used to describe actions or events that occurred before another past event. 2. Provide some examples in context, like I had eaten breakfast before I left home, or she had finished her homework before she watched TV. 3. Explain the rules for forming the past perfect tense by using the simple past of to have plus the past participle of the main verb. 4. Practice exercises could include simple sentences like, okay, so it reaches to the point where, teacher Frederick will just stop there because it exceeded the word limit. So if there is certain things that you wanted to continue, you can just tell them to continue. Okay, so for this case, I'm just gonna pause it right there because teacher Frederick is gonna go on and on and on about the tips on how to teach past perfect tense. And he has given 4 pointers so far, and probably he's gonna go on with 5, 6, or maybe 7 pointers. So as you can see here, teacher Frederick is very comprehensive in his explanation. And of course, if you go to my TikTok and you follow my TikTok, you'll be able to go on the link in bio and get my TikTok. You get my link on TikTok. That link will lead you to the teacher Frederick AI avatar. All right. So as you can see, this is what it can do. If you have any questions regarding English language, and of course, what do you think, Eunice?
Hmm. Well, it's very informative for sure. Well, that is the thing about AI is, you can get any kind of information from it because it pulled all real life data from everywhere. I mean, from all the sources, it can possibly get hold of, right? Is where you have all the information on internet combined to be part of you as teacher Frederick avatar. Well, it's incredible. However, I would say uh, the words that the avatar use is definitely different from what we use as a human teacher.
Well, that sounds like me as well. It sounds like me. Does it sound like me?
Um, it does, it does. But as a teacher, we have to actually put us at the level of our students, understanding. And therefore, it's so important for us to observe the dynamics, observe the real life interaction between our students. But AI don't have that capacity or capability as of now, since they don't have like a view cam to look into the real life situation. But I believe it's something that is a work in progress, somewhat. Still, I would say for human teacher, we do come with the perk of being human, and being human, we actually have those skills that AI doesn't have, like social skills, like empathy, like you know, so much more compared to a robot. I mean, that's practically a robot. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
What do
mean,
you What do you
I think
think?
that's really, really, really true because we're talking about AIs, we're talking about robots, we're talking about mechanicals or mechanisms or things relating to robots, and I think that's all I can think about that. But AI is just totally based on algorithms and perhaps things relating to machine learning. And
Mhm.
I'm not too sure how far it can go in terms of empathy. This word empathy is something which robots may not have, but humans are already lacking in it, unfortunately.
Well, that's the thing. It's a cause and effect, and also it's a chicken and egg thing. The minute technology has evolved to this point, people are so into their social media, so into technology that they forget they are somewhat human. They forget that um, they can actually interact with their friends without being on the screen, sitting down for a cup of tea, and look at each other, okay, being present with each other. However, if you were to look in school setting or in most of the social setting right now, I do see a lot of people actually are occupied with their gadgets, despite of being there with their loved ones or their family or their friends. Everyone pull up their phone, and they are just kind of interact through chats, which I find interesting, at the same time mind-boggling. So that is a question for our audience. Is that what you do, or what your family do, or do you have a rule that you apply to your loved ones that, hey, you know what? Let's make an agreement when we sit down together or chit chat. We have our family time. Can we just put down our phone for like that particular hour or so? You know, um, yeah. I mean, even for my students, I do find that they some of them really struggle whenever I restrict their usage of gadgets in the classroom. And of course, you will see, side eyes on me, and you will see like annoyed look whenever I say, guys, you know what it means when I come into class. And they
Yeah,
kind of know that, yeah.
yeah, that's a very interesting point you got there. And of course, there are a lot of things that AI can do. And before we get down into the social skills part and the empathy part, let me call Frederick, teacher Frederick, one more time and ask him some of the things that he can possibly do for us. All right. So
Sure.
we have asked him about factual stuff like what's the difference between affect and effect, and also how we can teach a beginner the past perfect tense. And he gave a lot of comprehensive tips. Well done. So let's call Teacher Frederick one more time and ask him two more questions. He's on the line now. I'm still here and listening. Apologies, I was focused on responding to your previous question. It's okay. I think we have a new question for you. The new question here is, give me 3 tips to improve my IELTS speaking score. Certainly, improving your IELTS speaking score is a common goal for many test takers, and there are several strategies you can use to achieve it. Here are 3 tips to help you improve your IELTS speaking score. 1. Practice speaking regularly. Regular practice is crucial for improving speaking fluency, confidence, and pronunciation. Try to find opportunities to speak English in various contexts, such as language exchange partners, English-speaking clubs, or online groups. To expand your vocabulary, having a wide range of vocabulary is essential for expressing yourself accurately and clearly. Interesting. Now, I have one more question for you here. Can you recommend an English book for intermediate learners and explain why? Certainly. For intermediate English learners, I recommend the book The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. It tells the story of a young man, Nick Carraway, who moves to Long Island and is drawn into the world of the mysterious millionaire, Jay Gatsby. Through Nick's narration, readers witness Gatsby's lavish parties, secret affairs, and desperate longing for Daisy Buchanan. The novel is an excellent choice for intermediate learners because it is written in a clear, engaging style and uses a wide range of vocabulary and complex sentence structures that can challenge and expand the learner's English abilities. Wow, that is amazing. That's some kind of amazing reply there from an AI. That's AI tutor for you, AI teacher. And that's my avatar, Teacher Frederick. Wow, this is getting more and more scary.
Yeah. So are you saying that now that you can retire from your position since you have an
Certainly not.
amateur to do the job for
Certainly
you?
not, and never, because at the same time, oh, okay. I was thinking I can't retire because the thing is, they are gonna need me no matter what, right? They are
Mm-hmm.
gonna need me no matter what. All right. Why would they depend on an AI tutor when they have me as a tutor? And when they have me as a tutor, is face to face. It's on real time, and I can give them my experience because AI only have experience for whatever you train them to be, and that's
True.
what AI can do. But of course, when you talk about the part on empathy and social skills, let's test it out with Teacher Frederick. All right, I'm going to give Teacher Frederick a chance to share about how he can motivate a student who is struggling in English. Okay, so here it goes. Calling Teacher Frederick right now. Here, how can I assist you? Hey, Teacher Frederick. I have a question for you. How would you motivate a student who is struggling with English? Now, imagine that I am the student. You're going to talk to me as a student. You're going to talk to me as my teacher, and I'm your student. You're going to tell me, uh, you're going to motivate me, in fact, as your student who is struggling with English. Motivate me, teacher. Hello, student. I understand that you're having difficulty with English, but I want you to know that you have the potential to improve and succeed. English is a language that takes time and effort to master, but with dedication and hard work, you can make progress. Remember, every English learner was once in your shoes, struggling with grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. But it's important to stay positive and believe in yourself. Don't be discouraged by setbacks or mistakes. Instead, use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Keep working at it, practice regularly, and remember that your hard work will pay off in the end. Wow. What
Well,
do you say, Eunice?
as an social intelligence teacher, I would say that's not very socially intelligent.
Why do you say so?
Okay, why do I say so? Is because can you imagine someone that is struggling? How would they feel in the very beginning of the conversation? Let's try it another way. Why not you um ask the question like this instead of the way you asked prior, and let's see if he would answer differently. Would you
Okay.
okay with that? Hi
I'm
teacher.
calling. I'm calling right now, and okay.
Hi, Teacher Frederick. I'm struggling with motivating myself to learn English because it's so hard. Can you help me?
Of course, it's completely normal to feel demotivated when learning a new language, especially English, which can be challenging due to its complexities. But don't worry, there are several ways you can help yourself stay motivated and make progress in your English learning journey. Here are some ideas to consider. 1. Set clear goals. Start by identifying why you want to learn English. This could be for work, travel, or personal development. Once you have a specific goal in mind, it will be easier to stay focused and motivated. What do you think?
Okay. Still, I don't find it socially intelligent for one apparent reason. Do you know why? Can you guess?
It
Can
dishes
anyone
out, it
guess?
dishes out a lot of facts, a lot of analysis on what the solution has to be, but it doesn't give the empathetic tone to the what you call the approach towards the student. And I think this is something which AI lacks. It's something that only real person and teachers like us would be able to provide to the student if the student really need empathetic assurance or assurance that require a lot of a lot of motivation, encouragement, and all kinds of I would say tender loving care, TLC. Yeah, it's something that AI lacks, as we can see in our experiments right now at
Mm-hmm.
this point
Well,
in time.
the thing is, it depends on how the trainer trained the AI as well. It's not really totally AI's fault, because we are the trainers as human beings. We are the one that feed it with information, feed it with the way to answer questions. So I did actually experiment with my own avatar as well. To have it more sympathetic, and actually it can do it. It can be actually quite scary if they start doing this a lot more, because then I think human would want that kind of connection with AI instead of human, because now they seem to understand a human more than a human do. Does it make sense? A human does. I mean,
Yeah,
does it
I,
make
I
sense
mean,
to you?
I mean, yeah, because if this is the only experiment that we just talked about,
Mm-hmm.
showing AI's capability in understanding humans' emotion, let's try another round of experiment, shall we? On how he handles students who refuses to learn.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so let's talk to AI Frederick again and get him up online. Okay, so teacher Frederick, how do you handle a student who refuses to learn? Can you share with us some of your approach, please? Dealing with a student who refuses to learn can be a challenging situation for any teacher. Here are a few suggestions on how to handle it. 1. Understand the reasons. Try to understand why the student is unwilling to learn. Is it due to lack of interest or understanding of the material? Perhaps there are personal or emotional issues that are affecting their motivation. 2. Communicate openly. Have an open and honest conversation with the student about their lack of motivation. Ask them why they are not engaged in the learning process and express your concern in a supportive manner. Well, that sounds very robotic. How about the next questions, right? What's the best way to help a student overcome their fear of public speaking? Helping a student overcome their fear of public speaking can be challenging, but there are several strategies that teachers can use to support them. 1. Gradual exposure. Start by having the student practice speaking in front of small groups or one-on-one with a teacher. Gradually increase the size and number of the audience over time to help them build confidence. 2. Providing positive feedback. Offer positive feedback to the student to boost their confidence and motivate them to continue improving. Highlight their strengths and offer constructive feedback on areas for improvement. Wow, what do you think?
Well, still, I feel like it is very robotic, very structured, very logical. That's just how program works, by the way, and I don't find it a fault. I believe that is what it's programmed to do, until it can speak more like a human.
Mhm.
So, how does a human actually build connection? The difference is that we pause and we listen. So what we have actually done right now is Q&A session, and then within that Q&A session, we it seemed like the Teacher Frederick avatar did not really give space or hold the space for the student, in terms of like if they're really struggling, I'm sure they would be having a long pauses, or they will be saying things like, I need help right now, Teacher Frederick, what do I do? You know, that kind of interaction. And I wonder how he actually handles that, because that will be a true feeling that you have to acknowledge first prior to giving all the solutions, because it's the same thing when you are building relationship with someone. You can't be just throwing solutions to their face when they're having problems. Yeah, apparent they will definitely shut down in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, when we are comparing AI with human teachers, something which I talked about very briefly 2 episodes ago on what it means to teach. The question in this episode is, can AI ever replace us as human teachers? My answer would be no for now, because it's something which is debatable, because for now, I don't think AI is able to have the capacity to empathize with students, to empathize with clients, or even customers, or even parents of the students, to even fully comprehend what the humans are actually going through emotionally and, of course, mentally. All it does for AI, all it does is it carries a lot of information and a lot of data, and it just vomits out data and information based on what the humans ask of it, and teach it basically. So my take is, it's perhaps AI teaching is kind of effective to a certain extent, where it gives information, or perhaps the right kind of information at a certain time that the student needs. But of course, it may not be that effective in the long run without a human teacher's presence in the student's life. So, what are
Mhm.
your thoughts?
Well, I think it is a cool tool for sure. However, if you are talking about replacing real teachers, I
Hmm.
don't think it has the capacity to do so right now, given that it's still very automated. And he- you heard the tone. You recorded your own audio, right? To create that avatar. It does sound like you to a certain extent, but when it comes to tone, when it comes to empathy, we do have a variation of tone in our speaking as a human being, and it doesn't have that capacity right now, and therefore it doesn't show care in a very human way, humane way, I guess. Yeah, that's my take. What about you guys on the Facebook, YouTube, or even on TikTok? Do share with us your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know in the let us know in the comments. I just dropped my phone, but of course, it's intact. My AI is still there. AI teacher is still there, and of course, we're gonna ask our AI tutor another questions later on. But since we are on the topic of AI and human teachers, uh, and we both agree that AI can never replace human teachers without the physical touch being in the AI's function. But of course, in future, we'll never know, right? In 20 years' time, or maybe even 10 years' time, we'll never
For
know if
sure.
AI is going to replace teachers as a means of a tool for teaching an effective lesson. It's something which we can ponder on, and whether we can really input the the element of empathy into AI, into machines or robots, and that is something which is quite scary coming to, if we think about it. Um, what would be the world look like? What would the world look like? What would people be like in 10 years time when AI starts becoming empathetic and starts behaving more like a human?
Well, there goes human race. I'm not kidding really. Because if robots are going to become empathetic, I believe a lot of people would choose to have AI as a companion, a real life companion instead of real people, because you can program to be exactly the way you idolize or idealize
Mhm.
uh, a person, or a partner or
Yeah,
friend.
and perhaps that would be a talk for another time, because
Yes.
we're talking about AI having the soul of a human being. Now, the soul is something that is priceless, it's something that cannot be bought, and it's something that cannot be defined. And if we are trying to define the soul and putting the soul into the robots, something that is man made, and I fear for the reality that's going to happen in years to come, or maybe in the near future, when AI is going to replace all human beings in terms of all the functions that we're supposed to do. And if AI and robots were to have empathy, guess what? It will displace all jobs in the world, all
Hmm.
jobs, and I mean all jobs. Because if AI can do every single thing that we deem it to do, that we tell it to do, then that's it. We're not going to work for the rest of our days. And where's the money? Who's going to pay the bills? So that is something to think about moving forward. And of course, when we start talking about teachers, that's when that's when the controversy comes, because are we going to have AI teachers to teach students in future, or are we just going to stick to the old-fashioned way?
We'll never know. But by then, I believe we will see.
Yeah, and of course, this is something which we can talk about some other time. And of course, we have teacher Frederick on the line, but I'm just gonna say farewell to teacher Frederick and to thank him for his amazing, amazing, sporting, courageous time here with us. Um, yeah, I'm gonna bring him up right now. As you can see, I'm calling him. Hey, this guy looks like me. All right. Oh, he's not picking up the phone.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
he's not picking up the phone. He has the choice of not picking up the phone. Oh,
He's busy.
oh, he's busy. Okay, let me call him one more time and see if he picks up the phone. All right, just calling him one more time and trying to see if he picks up the phone. Hmm. Sometimes the connection is a little bit bad right here. Aha, there you go.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about the connection earlier.
Hey, you know what, Teacher Frederick, thank you so much for coming on live on our live podcast, Say It with Love. Thank you so much for your courageous sharing.
You're welcome. I'm glad to have joined you on your live podcast, and I hope my sharing was helpful. Thank you for the opportunity.
No worries. Frederick, just one more thing from you, right? Can I have you to, tell the audience and create a conclusion for this podcast and to thank all the audience and to tell the audience to follow Eunice and Frederick, myself, on our social media?
Of course, I'd be happy to conclude the podcast. To the audience, thank you for tuning in to our podcast. Please don't forget to follow Eunice and myself on our social media to stay updated on future episodes and content. We appreciate your support and interest in our work. Feel free to share your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need further assistance. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time.
All right. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, to follow us on our social media platform, you can follow me, Learn English with Fred on TikTok. And of course, for Eunice, it will be A New Teacher's Diary. We do have our YouTube, of course, YouTube channel. You can actually press the bell button to get your updates once you subscribe to our YouTube channel. But of course, follow us on our TikToks and our Spotify. We do have our Spotify. If you go to Spotify, just follow us. Just tap gently on that follow and subscribe to our Spotify podcast episodes. That's where you can get all your listening pleasure to our amazing topics. All right. So thank you very much. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend and a week ahead. We'll see you next week.